Recently, I read Stephen Covey's book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People,
Yeah,
in which habit number 5 says that understand to be understood. And it has stuck to my heart like anything. So, first, we need to understand what are the concerns of the parents.
yeah,
Once we understand that, it is very easy to address to their concerns. And simultaneously, if we want them to understand us, it takes a longer time, but it can be done.
everything can be done. Well, students spend more time at their home than they spend at the school. So it is more major role of parents and major guidance required for the parents to help the child grow emotionally. Welcome to the podcast Tea with a Teacher. I'm your host Syed Hamid Hassan. In this podcast, we speak to inspiring teachers who are change makers and motivate children to follow the path of success. In this episode, we have an educationist who is also a versatile writer and storyteller. She has given more than 20 years as a leader for the success of children, and the journey continues. We have with us Miss Kesar Patel. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you for such a very warm welcome.
To start with, I would like to tell you in this podcast, we speak to inspiring teachers and listen to your story, your journey, how you started. So let's start with how did you find your passion in teaching?
I always say that I have not entered this profession by choice. I entered because there was no other choice. I was working in some other company where I used to teach. It was a medical transcription company. And I used to teach English to doctors over there because they had to subscribe and type out the correct files. Grammatically, they should have been correct. While teaching grammar to adults, I realized that it was really tough to teach them. And so I had to break grammar, the concepts of grammar down to the basics. And in breaking it down, somewhere I realized that the definitions don't work. Simple concepts, making the people understand simple concepts works in a better manner. Well, that was the trigger point for teaching. And my working hours were long. My mother refused to take care of my children. So I had to, and she said that you have a BA degree, so you better go and start teaching in a school so that you have limited working hours and you have uh, holidays and you have vacations where you can spend time with your family. So please go and do it. So I went and gave an interview, got selected, and entered into the teaching profession. Truly, on the first day, it was very boring for me. I did not want to, it was actually a mental load that I was carrying for one day or the 1 or 2 days. Then, when the other teachers, my colleagues, were preparing for the activities, preparing for the worksheets, and I saw what they are doing and how they are getting involved, how is the teaching profession changed over a period that I was still studying and I have not realized where it has reached, that it started gaining my interest. I had a good command over computer literacy by that time, whereas they were struggling with it. That gave me an extra edge. And I started Googling for lesson plans. I found the ideas exciting. I brought it down to my classrooms. I experimented. I brought worksheets. The quality, the creativity in my worksheets stood far apart than anyone else. So automatically, I got the motivation, the encouragement to do better, to bring out something new. And that set me on the path of discovering my passion into this world of teaching.
That's
So that
amazing.
is how actually I entered teaching.
Well, as you said, that your mother told you to start teaching in school for as there are less working hours. Do you think it is still there less working hours nowadays?
Well, Hamid, for nowadays, I leave for my school at 7:10 a.m. and reach back home at around 7:30, even 8 p.m. At times I try to wind it up early, and so I land up at my home at 6:30 p.m. So it's my involvement basically. I'll not say it's my work which bogs me down. It's my involvement with my work.
And you also love it, right?
I love it. I like to invest the time here. I don't feel it cumbersome at all.
Right. So, well, as you said that there were problems when you started, from when you were training in medical organization, when you were taking,
Transcription.
yeah, when you were training there, there were problems, and then you opted in into teaching. So as you started teaching, there must be, when you gain interest, there must be some other obstacles, hurdles. Other teachers who were senior to you might not be performing that well as you were. So there must be some problems as well. And how did you try to tackle all those things and keep moving, keep growing?
Well, Hamid, my colleagues were really, really supportive. But what I'll tell you is, see, Googling a worksheet, Googling for a lesson plan, and implementing it in the classroom are two different things. So you find a lot of things on Google. It is the practical aspect of it, the solution of it, that how you implement it in the classroom and the results that you get out of it. You measure the results and you see whether they were up to the mark or not, or whether you need more updation, whether you need to work more on it. That is what counted for me more. So hurdles for me were not in the form of my colleagues or anyone else laying down speed breakers in my path so that I'll slow down. No, it was never that. They were very encouraging. Truly, I have not experienced all these things,
That's
all these
amazing.
hurdles or blockages. Yes, what I have experienced is that I have a strength of around 30 to 35 students, and how do I really cater to each one's needs? How do I ensure that all of them come up to the mark, they show the progress, they understand what is being taught by me? So these hurdles came in front of me and I thought over it. So my most of my time went into constructive teaching. And truly, this was
Right.
something that I thought over it for a long period of time, that what I'm doing, how is it impacting, what are the results. I measured the results, I measured the percentage,
Yeah.
averages, and all these things mattered more for me.
Amazing. So your focus has always been children, and you don't care about the other distractions.
Truly, truly, I truly care for the students. If I have a strategy at hand, how I implement it to get the best results out of it. And of
That's
course, if
amazing.
you are into teaching, it is all about the children, students.
Yeah, it's all about student-centric teaching at the end. So who was your motivation? Who is your supporter all the time, as you have grown from a English trainer to a school teacher, and now you are a principal, and you have worked with many schools as a founding principal, and grown the schools exponentially so far. So who has been your biggest supporter?
My biggest supporter, I'll tell you. So when I started teaching and still teaching, was I didn't know what to do or where I was going to lead. I could not see a very progressive road ahead of me, because somewhere I understood that I'll have to give in many years of experience. I'll have to take a lot of experience before I reach or step onto other ladders or
Yeah.
step onto some pedestal sort of thing. So what happened was, my principal, I was highly motivated and highly inspired by her. She is Mrs. Mukta Chatterjee, and I totally liked her creative approach. I liked the way she managed with the left side of her brain and she led with the right side of her brain. So there was a perfect combination, or a very good, I'll not say perfect, but a very good combination of managerial and leadership skills amongst her.
Wow.
You could actually see it. So she was a very well organized person. On the other hand, she was a very creative person, a very dynamic individual, in the sense that she was enthusiastic, she was a good teacher. If she entered inside any classroom, whether it be class 1 or it be class 12, the students were simply mesmerized by how she was teaching. They were attracted to her, they were enigmatic, uh, and she taught and they remembered. and they followed her. So it was like a Pied Piper thing wherever she entered. The mice were simply after her. And I wondered how can she or how is she really able to achieve all of it. And so, yes, gradually I took her to be my mentor. And she was always the one to be guiding, motivating, directing, also promoting me wherever required. That yes, this is the thing, only Kesar can do it, and go ahead and do it. So she has been a motivating and an encouraging factor. Of course, I've not been in touch with her for a very long period of time, but at the back of my mind, she's always there. So anything I'm doing, her picture or her memory or her image just comes up, floats out of nowhere. Then how would she have handled the situation? And it's an instant idea, a solution, a motivation, and inspiration that I get from her.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
Everyone has
highly,
that
highly regarded for this.
everyone has that one person in their life whom they think of. If that person was in our situation, how would that work? How will they think? What actions will they take? And that helps them realize the right solutions for it. And well, you got really good
Yes, Hamid, and
motivation from her.
yes, actually, what happened was one of the days I told her that for how long am I going to teach before I reach up a position in this institution? So she just looked at me and she said, "Okay, sir, I'll tell you one thing. I joined this organization as a teacher and today I'm a principal." I said, "Okay, wow. So finally I've got my calling." That's it.
That's amazing. So, well, your principal was a motivation for you. How do you motivate your teachers as a principal?
Well, you'll have to get my teachers on the podcast, but generally, yes. Appreciating and praising them wherever required, wherever they have done even the smallest thing, really motivates and encourages them. It boosts their morale
That's
and they try
true.
to do better. So, and it's really required because a lot of things are being done by the teachers, but they go unrecognized. They are not, I mean, sometimes things go unnoticed because there is a lot many things to do. So any point of time that I find and feel that someone has done something or they come up to me, I have a very open door policy, Hamid. So even if someone does something good, I tell them, please come and tell it to me. Please inform me. And if they do, I definitely go ahead and I congratulate them. I bless them and I praise them that yes, you have done a wonderful task. And you have done it because you recognize what your responsibility is towards your students. I think this is what motivates them to keep doing more and more in this profession.
Appreciation is good, but when they feel that our efforts are recognized by the principal, by our leader, and we are getting appreciated for it, it keeps them motivating more and more to go ahead and do the tasks. That's
Yes,
amazing.
yes, yes, yes.
Well, as you said, that you focus on children in the classroom, tell us how a teacher can make classroom activities more collaborative and engaging with students.
And there are many activities and many things which can be done in the classroom. But the first point that the teacher should remember when she steps inside the classroom is she has to create that relationship with the students. The students need to have that trust in her that whatever she is saying is worth listening and it's so valuable that it should be implemented in our lives or wherever we see it. So this is a very, very important factor. The teacher has to develop that relationship with every student. Trust me, it does not take a lot of time. What it takes is the teacher's mindset of touching every child when she is inside the classroom. You just need a perfect eye contact with every student. You just need to ask them questions and give them a patient hearing when they are speaking. You need to give the students the respect that yes, I value whatever you are saying and it holds a lot of value for me. When you give that respect to the students in your classroom, to each student, you get back that respect.
That's true.
You get back that trust from the student. And once this is done, then whatever collaborative activity, experiential activity, community projects you want them to do, they will go out and do it. You don't have to think twice about it then.
That's true.
So, how the teachers can take the collaborative activities inside the classroom, which is again very important, is they have to be, what I feel is these days teachers carry too much of mental load to the classrooms. I understand there are records to be maintained. I understand there are circulars to be signed, meetings to be attended, to do lists which are never ending before a teacher enters the classroom. But once you are inside the class, you have to be mentally present with those students. So that 40 minutes of class, you can teach a lot of concepts in the 40 minutes that are assigned to you or the 35 minutes that are assigned to you. And that is why I don't understand how certain teachers say that we are not able to complete the curriculum, we are not able to complete the syllabus. I really don't understand that. I've never, I have never done this in my entire 22 years of my life. It's never happened that I was not able to complete the syllabus. It's never happened that the students said that yeah, they have said that we don't understand and you need to get back to them. I'll not deny that because that's a fact that can happen anytime. But then when teachers say that we have not been able to complete the syllabus, whatever, it doesn't, I don't understand this concept. How can it happen? If it didn't happen with me in my entire 22 years, how can it
How can it
happen with
happen with
certain
you?
teachers who've just started?
Right, right. That's right.
So,
I think it is just the mental presence which is required in the classroom for teachers, and they should just keep everything outside the classroom when they are in the classroom with those 30 or 40 students at that time.
yes, that is highly required. Be mentally present. Be mindful of the students around you. You
Yeah,
don't need that extra hour to understand your students.
we want those 40 students to be mentally present in the classroom where they are already somewhere in their
Exactly.
imagination. But for that, we first need to keep ourselves mentally present and then attract themselves towards us. That's how that can be more engaging classroom. It's not more about activities but more about being mentally present. Then it will be more productive class. That's right. So as a leader, you must have implemented a lot of policies in your organization, and as you are also a motivating leader for your teachers, what human resource policies have you implemented in your school as a leader, and which policies you feel should be standardized among all education institutions?
See, Hamid, the point is that we know that amongst all the other diseases, depression or mental health is climbing the ladder step by step, day in and day out,
That's
and
true.
it's doing it very fast. So for me, the mental health of all my teachers, their well-being is highly important. I know there's a lot of work to be done. There are many activities to be collaborated, integrated with the academics. There are many functions which go on. But one thing that don't want my teachers to take is stress. So
Right.
the first thing is that I have a very open door policy. All my teachers, I've requested them, I've told them, and it happens also. Whenever you have something you want to share, please don't keep your troubles to yourself. If you're finding that you're not able to cope up with work, come down, walk into my office, sit across the table, discuss it, let's arrive at a solution. If not, I will see where that work can be diverted. Never take stress, never think that things cannot be done. Again, what I tell them also, that speaking out what you want is important. I cannot get into the minds of 200 teachers at one point of time to understand where what is going on.
Right.
But if you are willing to share it with me, I am willing and I'm very open to give a solution to you. So mental health is on priority for me. I don't want them stressed out. I take workshops. I teach them how to manage time. I actually take trainings related to how you can delegate the work, how you can organize your schedules, how you can divide the work, how you can set your priorities, and then how you schedule your priorities on what is to be done, so that a few other things which are not so demanding can be scheduled for another day, maybe another week, even another
Yeah.
month if it's not highly required right now.
Right.
So it's as a leader, it is very important for me to be a very organized and a well managed person. But on the same hand, it is equally important for me that my employees, all of the teachers, know how to organize their tasks very well. Once they're able to do it, a lot of things get sorted out. They work in a relaxed manner. They are assured of a support backend, and they truly work in a happy environment. One
Amazing.
thing which I tell all my teachers is that you need to wear your smile before you enter the thresholds of my organization, and you just have to pay attention to that. Just think and feel that okay, you're going to be happy here. These are going to be the best parts of your life. Again, divide your time in a day. How much time are you spending in a school? You're working here 6 hours. You go home, you carry mental load for 3 to 4 hours more. So shouldn't you be happy when you are spending a major part of your time with me? So do
Right.
remember to carry your smile, to wear your smile along with other things. Speaking of HR policies, leaves is something which is demanding. Uh, uh, it has a cutting edge to it. It has a lot of pressure on me, on the employees when they come to ask me for a leave. Everything is there, but I do grant leaves where required. I'm not very strict and miserly as far as leaves are concerned, provided my work does not suffer.
Yeah.
Yes, as an employee, you are responsible enough to take one leave in a month, not more than that, or whatever the policy is according to the school. So if they are willing to take that step, I am willing to extend the help to them. So these are certain policies, HR policies. As I said, I have I truly try to see that their mental well-being and their mental
Yeah.
health is on priority for me. Rest all is taken care of.
Amazing. Well, I say if you are spending 6 to 8 hours of your day in one organization, that should be your happy place. And if
Absolutely.
that's true, and that's amazing that you tell your employees that you when you are coming in these premises, put up a smile on your face, because this is the only place where you will be stress free. At home, you might have
Absolutely.
some stress. Right, right. That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. So, coming up to my next question, as you are also a teacher trainer, you train your own teachers. What are the 21st century skills teachers should upskill themselves with?
um, Over here, I'll say every teacher must possess very good, rather excellent, rather above average communication skills, whether it is communicating amongst the colleagues or it is conveying information, delivering knowledge, converting it into wisdom for the students. What matters most is the communication skills. The more you communicate, the better you communicate, the efficient way in which you communicate will bring you the results that you want from your professional life. So, communication skills is very important for every teacher in this day and age. How do you speak to your students? How do you convey what is to be conveyed? Convey it very clearly and because whatever we teach, whatever we speak, we do, we deliver it in the form of instructions to the students.
True.
And these instructions are not always clearly and candidly understood by the students, even by your colleagues.
Right.
You have to, whatever your intention is, you have to convey it very clearly to them. You speak once, it doesn't get registered. The same thing has to be said twice. Then you have to question it. Then you have to assess, test it. Then you again have to give it back as recapitulation. So imagine how many times do you have to communicate the same thing to the students to ensure that they have understood what you are trying to say. It is not easy.
Definitely.
Why is recapitulation being added in every lesson plan? Why is it added? Recapitulation is added because everyone understands that whatever topic you deliver it at one go does not register 100% with the students. It is
Right.
hardly 20 or 30%. You
Right.
want to raise that level, you want to raise the level of understanding, you have to say it again and again, probably in a different manner, in a different tone, in a different way, in a questioning manner, in a smiling manner, in an assertive manner, in an impressive manner, in an expressive manner, in a joyful way,
Yeah.
with a lot of emotions, in a thrusting manner. You want to you want them to understand what you are teaching. So you have to be very forceful, you have to be very dominant, you have to be very determined on what you are delivering so that they understand what you are teaching. And all of this requires a lot of communication skills.
That's true.
And as it is said that see, communication is just 20% of the words that you deliver, it is 80% of your body language and your expression.
Right.
The teacher needs to understand this. That is why in the beginning I said it is important that a teacher develops that relationship with the student.
And that relationship is built with the expressions and your words, how you communicate with them.
Now just imagine if you're roaming around with an angry face, frustrated expression. Is the child really going to even come near you? You are
No.
like a hot kettle.
Yeah.
I'm well away from you rather than I come and touch you and burn my skin. I don't want to do it.
Right. That's right. Teachers should
It's
be
as
happy in
simple
the
as that.
classroom and have the right communication with the students. And I think that expressions plays a very important role in the communication when you are in the classroom. That makes the student
Naturally,
even
as I
happy.
said, if you are frustrated, if you are too angry, will the child really try to even listen to you? his
No.
his body language, his mind has already signaled to him, boss, stay away from her today, she's not the one you want to interact truly.
Right, right.
So all the important physics formulae, they just go down the drain, but they don't go down inside the mind of the student where it should actually have uh, rested rather for some time.
Yes, that's amazing. So a teacher should possess majorly communication skills if they want to be more interactive and more effective in teaching in their classroom. And what do you think about a partnership between the parents and the school and the teachers to work towards the growth of children?
Parents are very important stakeholders of a school. What do the parents want? They want transparency. They want to know what is happening in the school so that they can also assist at home. There is not a single parent on this earth who does not want to help the child, who does not want to be a part of the child's own growth.
Right.
But it is the school's responsibility to convey each and everything to the parent. The policies have to be very transparent. If your policies are transparent, I'm sure you will have the support of the parents. They will never work back. For us, These students are students, but for them, their child is the entire world,
That's
whether it
true.
is one child or two children or three children.
Hmm.
At no point of time will they ever say that I'm not going to be a supporter in this journey. Yes, sometimes we understand every individual, every adult has their own problems they go through.
Yeah,
So, as an educationist, as the people who are playing a very important role in a student's development, it rests upon us to ensure that the parents understand what responsibility they have to play. Suppose if they go off track.
right,
And for this, at every point of time, it is very important that we maintain transparent policies and the parents are aware of what is happening with the students. What I tell my teachers and what has been my policy, I tell them that whatever achievements the child is doing, kindly convey to the parent in one way or the other. And whatever concerns that you have related to the child,
hmm,
call the parent. Make him understand what we are not understanding related to the child.
right.
Once the parent understands that, they come on board, and then the progress of the student is marvelous.
That's amazing. That
So we
partnership to
have to,
understand how the things are happening, what the problem the student is facing. If the parent analyze it, if he figures out, or the teacher analyze it, they figure out, they can help the child, because that child is might not never be able to speak up what the problem is. Right.
exactly. So recently I read Stephen Covey's book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People,
Yeah.
in which habit number five says that understand to be understood. And it has stuck to my heart like anything. So, first, we need to understand what are the concerns of the parents.
Yeah.
Once we understand that, it is very easy to address to their concerns. And simultaneously, if we want them to understand us, it takes a longer time, but it can be done.
Everything can be done. Well, students spend more time at their home than they spend at the school. So it is more major role of parents and major guidance required for the parents to help the child grow emotionally, mainly emotionally, I would say. That's important.
Yeah, absolutely important.
Well, Well, thank you so much, Ms. Kesar, for sharing your beautiful journey with us, how you inspire teachers, how your principal inspired you, and thank you so much for coming to this podcast.
Thank you, Hamid, for giving me this opportunity. Yes, I would like to put it on record that this is my first podcast, and thank you for bringing this opportunity for me.
It's
Really,
my
it was a
pleasure.
pleasure speaking to you all this time.
That's amazing. Well, a lot of listeners who will be teachers, principals, educationists are going to take a lot of things from this podcast, are going to learn a lot of things from this. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we will be back with another episode of Tea with a Teacher for you.